Oh, 1 second. There we go.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be building an exciting app only using AI. And that means we're going to be building the whole thing from top to bottom, front end to back end, using just AI tooling. And so that's going to be Supabase. Today we're going to use V0 to power the front end, OB1 by Outerbase, us, to do the connection with the back end and all the API layers there, and Supabase as our DB. So yeah, really excited for this. We have everything set up and in place, but what we're going to walk through next is probably how to connect that Supabase to Outerbase. I guess we should introduce ourselves in case anybody's tuning in and doesn't know us. I'm Brandon, one of the co-founders of Outerbase, and this is
Braden, the other co-founder of Outerbase. Braden, you can't get confused.
Yeah, just mumble a B word, and we'll answer. We will answer.
Doesn't even have to be in our general direction. You can mumble it anywhere.
We'll hear it and we'll respond. All right, so I guess let me go out here and grab my Supabase account. All right, I have that, and I'm going to log into Outerbase real quick, make sure I'm in the right workspace, and log into that as well. All right, let me share my screen. I'm going to show you all how we can connect to this. So present. Awesome. So you should see this demo Supabase. If you're familiar with Supabase, they give you this really nice interface to manage your Postgres instance. And what's great is they also have, excuse me, a way to easily grab your credentials. You can come in, you can see your tables here, you can see your database credentials, and that's what we're going to need for today. To connect to the Outerbase, you're going to come in here, and you're going to come in, you're going to grab this URI here, you're going to copy this, then we're going to go to Outerbase. In Outerbase, all you're going to do is connect a new database. So you click connect, you select, again, Supabase's Postgres, so we're going to select Postgres, and we're just going to autofill with the connection string. I do have to grab my password. Let me reset this. This is super secure. Generate copy. You all can't see that. Whoops, I clicked reset again. So copy. I think we're good. We'll find out. We'll test that connection, and it worked. So that is that's good to go. We're gonna give this a name. We'll call this Supabase, and we will create that base. And right now, what it's doing is it's connecting, and you can see there are all my tables. They're there. So again, it was really easy to get that initial connection done. And now I'm going to pass it over to Braden to show you how we're going to create the, I guess, front end and back end. He gets to do all the fun stuff, all the hard stuff. I got to just do the connection, which is easy.
Oh boy. Let's try it out. Let's see what we can do. Share screen. Screen one. Oh no, I might have to rejoin. The system preferences they never just work.
All right, well, stay tuned. We will hear back from him soon.
Oh man.
I guess in the meantime, I don't know how many people, if anybody's tuned in right now. I guess there's 3 watchers. If you have had a chance to use any of the AI tooling, would love to hear about it. You can write about it. And again, if you would like access to OB1 and kind of get a chance to spin up a backend, happy to help you out there as well. We're slowly adding in people each week, and I would be happy to bump any active listeners to the top of the line. So yeah, feel free to reach out, say you want access, and we can make that happen. Oh, while you're gone, Braden, I was promising free access to OB1, so don't leave.
Yeah, but I came back and there's a big surprise. I'll try to share my screen again. we get better results. All right, does that work?
Yes, I added the stage, and there it goes.
All right, cool. So, like Brandon said, we're going to use 3 or 4 primary tools to do all of this today. Again, we're building a. It's not really complex, but the thing is, we're going to do it all in AI and hopefully program 0 lines of code ourselves. So the tools we're going to use today, we're going to use V0 to generate us a front end. We're going to use OB1 with Outerbase to generate our backend, and we're using Supabase to serve as our database. And then we're going to use ChatGPT because we do that always, and it just works. The starting point, just the most basic HTML file you can find. So that's what you're going to see on the left-hand side. That's what we're going to be putting our code. But we're going to start into V0 here, and we're going to start with something, just an easy prompt. Create a survey that collects multiple questions and has a submit it button. Let's see what it generates for us.
Have you seen those memes where it's like, hey, make this marshmallow angrier?
I have, yes.
I was messing around with V0 the other day, and I was like, make this prettier, and I just kept chaining it, and it got to be pretty pretty. It was all right. Yeah, I feel like that could definitely use some love there. That's a thin survey.
Do you want me to make it what, full screen?
I don't know if it needs to be full screen, but I mean, it sure is skinny. I mean, maybe say make it fatter. See what it does.
Make it fatter. All right.
I love AI.
All right, go with it. Make it fatter.
Yeah, you got the age-old weight.
Oh, I see the one there.
Are y'all getting an echo, or is it just me?
I'm not, so I feel like I'm the source of the problem.
That's what I'm wondering. Oh, what'd it do?
It does not look fatter.
Maybe it doesn't understand that. All right. Well, I tried.
Let me change my microphone. What is this any better?
That sounds better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's just try to be more explicit. Make it a full screen, full width,
yeah.
Survey. And it really is kind of amazing how so few words can yield so much end result. I'm always impressed using these tools.
Yeah. Just the waiting time.
It doesn't like to make this wider. I don't think this has changed. And
I think we threw it off when we said to make it fatter. It just disagreed. Oh wait, they have options. Click down below. Are any of those other options better? Oh, look at that.
I don't want the radio buttons. We're just gonna go with this. And you know what? We'll chat GPT. He might hook us up. All right, so we're going to swap over to the code side of this. It produced some HTML. I'm going to just copy this, and I'm going to paste it inside this near empty. Oh, wow. Okay. It's all one line.
That's all you need. It's one line. But all your code in one line, it loads faster. It doesn't have to read multiple lines.
We made an entire website. It's one line of code.
Yeah.
It's great. All right, we're just going to, we're going to do it. We're going to save this. And if we come over here. Whew. All right. So it's brought it over. It hasn't translated with the style, and that's probably because it looks like they're using Tailwind inline, and we don't have anything referencing Tailwind. So we're going to go over to our friend ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, ooh, I don't want 3.5. Oh, where's my?
I only have 4. Oh, no.
Oh, things are going downhill.
We'll see with 3.5. If you want, you can send over the code to me, and I did shell out the $20 a month to upgrade to 4. So
my other computer has alpha. I don't know why I don't have alpha here. All right, so below is my HTML code, but it uses Tailwind CSS, and I don't have that included. How can I include a CDN script for Tailwind? And this might be a little bit more developer speak than most people are comfortable with, but rest assured, even with regular English, I'm sure you can come to the right conclusion. All right. So what it hasn't given me the full code, but it has said, hey, there's a link. It's kind of hoping it would give me the full code so I could just, have a formatted file. Oh no, why did it take the old? I have A selected. Why is
it's choosing the wrong one?
Yeah. Copy this.
Maybe we need to start V0 with a fresh prompt. Maybe it's not liking this.
We ruined it. We ruined it. All right.
All right,
just gonna paste in the prompt we just used. Let's try it. I'm just gonna. Hopefully, one of these will just work.
Oh, here it comes in. Still thin. Still real thin.
And this is, I think this is more what we want. We want some text responses. What we're building with our survey is we're going to be collecting some information, including your name, your email, your shipping address, and your t-shirt size. So this is probably going to be the best bet for us. Hey, this time it came back. Oh, that's because it's not.
All those imports, yeah.
Come on.
Back to one line, just what you wanted.
You can win some of the times.
All right. There we go.
There's beautiful. All right, so the 3 questions we want. Obviously, this just gave us a layout with 3 responses. We want 4 questions, and we want to have them labeled the right way. So I'm gonna start a new one here because my code has changed a little bit. Below is my HTML code with 3 questions. Change the questions to the following questions instead. 1, full name. 2, email address. 3, shipping address. And 4, t-shirt size. And here's my code. And let's see what it generates. Oh, good. It's gonna format this for me too. How lovely.
Yeah, for a while there it was apologizing for how lazy it was getting because it was just like, oh yeah, insert this here. Good luck. And that's all the more response it would return.
It was It's crazy that it warranted it was so bad it warranted a post.
BMK 490 is asking, thanks, Ben. Did it update the input types for us too? I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right. So we got the 4 questions we want. So I think the UI, at least for now, is done, right? You feel good about this one, Brandon?
I mean, feel good about it? That's a question, I mean, we could always make it prettier, but it works. Well, the UI works. Let's
Oh, all right. Well,
we'll have a good dark theme too. Maybe if we got more time, we'll jam on that and say make it dark theme. But first off, let's get it functional.
We'll make it functional, then we'll make it prettier. All right. So now we got the front end. We need the back end. We're using Supabase. So we're going to select Postgres as the database type. We want to make sure all the SQL it generates is going to work on Supabase. And we're going to say create an endpoint that accepts 4 answers to a survey, full name, email address, shipping address, and t-shirt size. And it's very similar to our front end prompt. So we're just going to fire this one off and we'll let it go. This will take about a minute or so. For anyone that's not familiar with OB1, what it's doing here is it's first taking that prompt and going to try to understand what kind of API endpoints would need to exist for that prompt. After it knows the API endpoints it's going to make, it's going to create a database schema, write out the SQL that would need to be generated, to create the tables and columns. And then it's going to create any actual commands that's necessary to interact with that table. And then it will show us the final result. Momentarily. There we go. All right, so we got a table. It's using all the posts. Oh, okay. So it's gonna require you to put in one of these values for the shirt size. It's great. Extra small. Okay. And we got a command. It's a post. We would expect it to be a post, so that's good. All right.
So what it did is it just generated, for those of you tuning in at home, it just generated all the SQL for all of our table to actually collect all this information. And that's what the survey response is. So those are the columns that Braden had asked for. And then it also generated a command. And what a command is it's basically a function to actually push data into that table. And so it's a post. And so after he deploys it to that Supabase that we created, it will actually automatically add that, post command and that table there. And so if he goes there, and you'll be able to see all this kind of come up. Generate it.
Come on. Well, okay, so it generated the command. It didn't, for some reason, didn't like the table that was created.
Was it, do you think it was the kind of that one, maybe just prompt it and say what if we update it and say the t-shirt size can be a string, a varchar?
Oh, t-shirt column to be a varchar. All right.
Yeah, so there you go. We need some better error handling on that piece. That's a gimme. Also, I heard if we say Mountain Dew in these streams, don't we get something? Is that true? I think that maybe have a big enough Twitch following. But
try it.
Mountain Dew. This stream brought to you by our friends over at Mountain Dew. I don't have a can of it here. I don't think.
It probably works off both the audio and the visual. You have to have the visual up.
Image recognition, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a meme back in the day. Do you remember seeing that? Like,
no, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, there's this old, I don't know, it's like making fun of like what the future's becoming. Like, hold up your Mountain Dew can to continue playing your game.
All right, so the second version that we've created here with that allow t-shirt column to be anything, it's done that. Actually, the downside is this is actually going to be a bug, which, there's no better time to find a bug than on a live stream. This is SQLite, so I don't think it's going to work. What I have an earlier version of this. It's the same prompt, promise you, but it created the right varchar. Let's try this one out. And that's the joys of working with AI, right? Every time it produces something, it's going to be more likely than not slightly different. So let's try to deploy this. Let's see what happens. All right. Brandon, it's not liking something about this.
What's it? Still not deploying that, huh?
Yeah, let's try. Yeah, those demo gods, they shine bright. Very strange.
Still not deploy it?
No.
Interesting. Leave it. I mean, we actually did run this through beforehand, and it was working. So
After last week, we needed at least a small dry run.
So it's not creating the actual SQL. Everything else is working, but it's not actually updating the SQL statement. So there's the command, and it ran, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the command deployed, it built, it was successful. It's just didn't create the. Okay. You know what? We're patient people, right?
I'm gonna give it a try on my end too. I have one here that did deploy, and I'm gonna try deploying this to our Supabase, and we will see.
I'm gonna try a whole new run. You know, sometimes clean slate.
Yeah, it's not working for me there either.
Maybe it's just because we're lacking faith. We just need to have more faith, and it'll work, right?
Yeah, maybe it's just such a giant SQL statement that it just takes, a while to create that table. You got 5 columns there. You've got
yeah. All right, I'm gonna try this one again. Why not? Deploy.
You want to make sure that the commands are deleted?
I do want to make sure that they're deleted.
I can go ahead and do that while you
I'll check the OB1 one.
All right.
Delete. Okay. You just have a little bit of faith, it'll work. All right. And would you believe it? It did not work.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
I wonder
what we're looking for everyone else is under the public table. There should be something here. And there's not.
Maybe it's because we already ran it. Let me create well, no, the Supabase one never had one on it. Did we push something up?
No. Well, I mean, we shouldn't have.
Here, let me copy the SQL. I can copy the SQL. I'm going to copy the SQL it generated. I'm going to paste that right into the Supabase one.
Okay.
And we'll just go with that. Again, a little bit more manual than we'd like, everybody, but what can you do?
That's why we give the copy SQL button.
All right. And we're going to run this. Oh, interesting. It's not deploying because it's saying the connection's refused. That's why it would never actually create that because Supabase is blocking us. All right, so let me go back into Supabase.
I did create in the interim a test SQLite database provided by Outerbase. If we want to try that too.
All right, let me go ahead and reset this real quick just to see. Okay. And when it doesn't work, we can use our test one. This is again, this is them being secure and probably not wanting to. I had to keep resetting that password earlier. I bet you I maybe just did it one too many times. Let me reset that database password one more time. Generate a password. Copy.
One more time.
All right. Do I think? All right. So I've successfully updated it. And then I'm going to come in here to my database. I know you all can't see me, but I'm basically what I was doing earlier when I updated the database settings. I'm just trying this new password, testing the connection. Oh, it doesn't like it.
Doesn't like it?
It does not.
What if you spin up a new Supabase instance?
I could do that. I don't know how long it's going to take, though. Does everyone want to? How long does a Supabase instance take to run? I'm not sure. Why don't we just go with SQLite? Sadly, I just don't think. I think I'm getting blocked for some reason. I don't know if we're trying to make too many requests to it. I don't see a white or an allow list here. No. Yeah, there's no reason why this shouldn't work.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll do a new run. This time I'm going to start it over and have SQLite connected. It's kind of a bummer that the Supabase instance wasn't working. You know what, though? I'm slightly relieved, I'm not going to lie to you, that it wasn't an Outerbase issue.
Yeah, it's good. It is. I mean, it was on them for some reason. Again, I don't know why.
Well, I guess we'll have to work on our error messaging now. That's some room for improvement. That's why this is in a private beta.
Yeah.
All right, this run's almost done here. It's creating the command. There we go. We have a table called survey. Seems like it has everything we want. And command. Seems to have everything we want. So let's try to deploy this to our AI Friday. And we made a test one here. And I should have held off on speaking too soon because it could still be broken here if I click on this and it's not there. Oh, but it's there. Whew. Thank goodness. Thank you guys. Thank you, everyone. And then our command should be over here, and it's in the middle of building and deploying right now. And it's built. It's ready. Cool. So one thing that Outerbase doesn't do at the moment is the code it generates down here is using some stuff that will need to be populated in the request body. I'm going to put it up here as well. Full name, John Doe. Email, john@doe.com. Shipping address, 100 Main Street. And t-shirt size, we'll say medium. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this curl. And what I would expect to happen when I run this curl, and I highly emphasize expect, it says, all right, we responded with a success. Survey answer submitted successfully. We can see in our code down here, if it was successful, it should return that. Let's prove that it was successful, though, and go to the survey table and refresh, and it's there. It worked. Thank you, SQLite, for coming in. All right, cool. So now we know that our command works, and we can use this to populate our database. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this curl. I'm going to take this curl. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and say something like, okay. Well, I don't need to say okay. I have this curl that stores the inputs into a database. Can you capture those input values and make the network request when they submit the form? All right, we'll see what it does. Do your best. We see it adding a script. Okay, it's done building here. I'm going to copy this code. Let's see what happens. I'm going to come over here. We're going to paste it. Make sure when we refresh, this still runs. Oh, no, they got rid of all the rest of the form.
Oh, there's lazy ChatGPT for you.
There it is. Let me just go back to the previous response and copy these over. Is it still going to be tagging in the right fields?
I don't know. You might have to, sometimes I just yell at it and say, please provide the whole thing. You could also try doing that.
I might have to do that if this doesn't work. All right, let's try this. Let's do, sure, yeah. Well, 200 Main Street. I'll live up with block a little bit.
That's, yeah, Ben said he'd ask nicely. That's fair. Especially, you know, when the robot overlords come to, you know, they're going to review all your ChatGPT history.
You know they absolutely will. All right, so I submitted that. It was successful. If I come in here and refresh, there I am. All right,
Cool.
So we had V0 generate this beautiful survey for us. And we had OB1 generate the command. And unfortunately, we had to rely on SQLite from Outerbase for the database. But it created all this, and we wrote how many lines of code, Brandon?
0 lines of code. It's my kind of coding right there.
So, and you know what? What's different this week than last week? We're done with 30 minutes left, or at least we have something functional with 30 minutes left. So what can we do?
So we can answer some Q&A from the audience here.
All right.
Chun Online asking for a founder friend. Do I still need a CTO if I have OB1? The answer is definitely not. Actually, Braden, can you meet after this call? I want to have a quick chat with you. So yeah, it's the beauty of OB1 and all these generative tools is you don't need CTOs. You don't even need engineers. Think of all the cost saving.
CTOs can be expensive.
I sure can.
All right. Well, you talked earlier about wanting this to be in dark theme, right?
Yeah.
We've got all this extra time.
Let's just try it. Just tell ChatGPT, just say make this prettier and see what it does. And
give it the code, or
yeah, give it the code. You gotta give it the whole code.
Make this really pretty looking. There we go. Yeah. Let's see what ChatGPT thinks a pretty website should look like. Oh man, it's nothing about just
it prettier your code. Oh man. Just dogging on your formatting over here. Didn't like it.
You can't win them all. All right. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop you right there. Thank you for doing it. All right. Let's be a little more explicit. Make the UI of this website look really, really pretty. I like dark themes. All right. I'm going to give you another shot here.
We're going to say insert theme here.
I believe. All right. And in this version, I introduced new styles to the form elements, including input fields, text area, and submit button. More cohesive and follows a dark theme for a modern and visually appealing look. Well, I can't wait for my eyes to behold this.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Look at that. It's so much worse. V0 did a much better job than ChatGPT did here.
Yeah, we're gonna revert that.
We're ahead here. Maybe we'll give everybody a little bit of time back to their day. I feel like this is a really good. It works. That's what we were trying to do here. We got it to work. I guess real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask, does anybody have any requests of features they want to see for next week, besides potentially a CTO replacement bot? Sorry if no one does. We have ideas. Make a game. We can make a game.
Game? What kind of game?
Like a first-person shooter? Recreate Halo in 1 hour?
We failed at Intercom in 1 hour, but we could probably succeed at Halo in 1 hour.
Yeah, it can't be that hard, right?
Nah, I've played it.
Could do a spelling bee game.
That could be fun. All right. I had it do, I asked it to, when I submit something into the form, show me a label, tell me I submitted something. Oh, it went back to the ugly theme.
Oh, man. Well,
okay.
So you get for asking it instead of V0 to do it for you.
Oh, man. And it's white on white.
Just ruined it for you. I'm interested to see what the success form looks like.
Me too. Submit. Hey, your answers have been submitted.
It's perfect.
There we go. It's beautiful. Back over here. I said you're large also. I hope that's okay.
I'll take an also large, yeah. I don't know. I don't appreciate you putting my address in there, but that's fine.
Oh, sorry. I should have masked that. It's personal information, right?
Yeah.
Well, in about 30 minutes time, we have created an entire front end, an entire back end, an entire back end, one endpoint, but without writing any lines of code. And spun up a database. And this is what we have. Would be better in light mode. But
yeah. I think asking it to go back is going to be hard too, because it's going to butcher that for you.
I deleted the history here. It certainly won't be helpful. All right. Well, what else we got? Anyone? Any other?
Ben's just calling you out for the PII leak. So.
Oh. So much for the SOC 2 Type 2 security we have.
John and Ben, I know we have. If you all ever want to join us too, we could bring you on stage too, and we could all maybe jam on something together sometime. Think about it.
Yeah, that could be fun. If you guys are thinking about adding a new feature to, and this goes for anyone that's adding a new feature or wanting to test something out, we'd love to do those kinds of things. Especially if you're prototyping something and wanting to just see if it works or not. Then compete with AI to see who's faster. I would love to see that.
Let's do it. We'll make it happen. We'll see who can program a spelling bee game faster, Ben or AI.
Is there a good way? I want to have like a good postmortem to show on Twitter that we succeeded. And I feel like this is not.
Maybe just Control Z. Maybe you won't have the success date, but just Control Z in your code like twice, maybe just once even. And then there you go. I'll take this as success. We just need to host it somewhere. We should host these so people can actually submit to them.
Yeah, we should actually send out some swag to some random people.
We could do that. We can make that happen.
All right. We'll get this hosted. It shouldn't take long. It's an HTML file. I just need to dig up an FTP server somewhere.
Does V0 have a way to just deploy it directly to Vercel? That'd be easy enough too. It's a static file.
Do they let you do static files?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So if I send you this URL right here, you can upload it for me?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, it's /users.
Actually, I don't know. Wait, don't I have to have it? It might have to be in Git for me to actually deploy it.
Okay. Well, either way, we'll get this uploaded. We'll tweet it out. We'll send some swag. And Logan, I know you're listening. We'll have some swag. We'll make some swag and send some swag. And then it will be a successful week. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about this, Brandon, of like the wall of fame and the wall of shame for our Friday events. This one is going in the Hall of Fame. This one's a success.
It worked. It took us some tries, and they're only going to get better. That's the best part of AI. It just always gets better. So we'll wait. Next week, we'll have ChatGPT 5 probably, and it'll even be faster. And who knows? V1, maybe instead of V0, we'll already be on V1 and OB2.
That would be nice. That'd be real nice. And if anyone's listening, Brandon did earlier offer for whoever wants it that's actually tuned in access to OB1. So if you do want access to OB1, either tweet at us.
Yeah.
Or
email us. Braden leaked all of our PII, so you can just use any of that. Send us a postcard, a letter, and we'll get you access.
300 Main Street, 200 Main Street.
100.
Either of those.
Right down the street.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks everyone. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.
See you guys.